Hello guys, I decided to do a video specifically about the door panel install because I didn't see other videos in the internet, so I decided to just do one. So if people wants to tackle this job, they can do it. So let's talk about what you have to buy. Basically, you need to buy their door panel kit from rides.com or interior-innovations.com. That I said before, they're basically the same company, and so you can get Napa leather in rides. I guess that's the only difference. Anyhow, and you'll get the cut off pieces, 10 pieces like this, the cut-offs, and these pieces basically will be one for each one of this. They're oversized like this, there's tons of material left for each piece to do, so you don't need the whole thing, obviously. And obviously you need to peel off the old leather from the pieces. So this is like the old leather, and they're all backed up by a foam, and obviously you need to remove the foam. So the foam sticks pretty good to, not depends on how they glue it. It sticks against the metal, and you need to then scrape it somehow. And so I use a drill with the wire brush. I put it on a vise. I use a zip tie to hold the trigger, and then I basically just use it as a bench grinder, which mine broke, so that's why I use the drill. And then I go over like this, and I clean this area, which is where you are going to glue the foam, and this area is where you glue the leather after folding it over. So you need to clean this really well. You don't want any glue in it, but it doesn't come out everything with the wire brush. Now another thing I wanted to talk is that if you notice here, when these pieces are glued, it's pretty hard to actually take. It depends how good the glue is after 30 years, but you need to peel this off this way, and it's really hard to actually peel it off. So what I do is that I do one corner, because the corners they have relief cuts, so you can peel the corner like that, and once you have the corner, you can actually pull it this way or that way and take it off. You have to be very careful. This is a very thin piece of metal. You don't want to bend it. They have a bend, so you don't want to bend it. This one, for example, I think I bent it a little bit here, so I'm going to have to make it back to shape when I put it on the door. It's not a big deal if you bend it, but if you make a crease, it's going to be a big deal, so try not to bend them. They actually have a bend at the end. They're not, this part is, this part follows a curve, and this part has a straight bend here, which is had to take into consideration. If you try to straighten it up, this is not going to fit in the door, because this goes down like that, so this part goes down. That's how they hook them up, and then you bend these over. Anyways, so after you take the leather and the foam off, you want to use some chemical to clean the glue. The best I use, or I think you can use Glue Off or whatever adhesive removal, but I use paint thinner. This is actually recycled paint thinner I have for years. So once I use paint thinner for whatever application, I put in a bottle. I just bought this bottle, which is chemical resistant. So you basically you can strain the paint thinner and reuse it all the time. So you don't have to buy it. It's pretty expensive, so might as well recycle it. The only thing though is that paint thinner is very harmful for your hands. These gloves don't last that long with paint thinner. I use thicker gloves that are very, very thick vinyl, which I haven't found yet, so I had to use a bunch of this pairs of gloves to clean it. And anyhow, use good gloves and a respirator. I have a respirator back here like this for fumes, for solvents. Not just a crappy one. This is a 3M. The filters are kind of oldish, but they're still good, so I use that. It produces cancer over time, so just be safe. That's all. Disclaimers. Read the freaking technical sheet before you use any chemical, okay? It's not my responsibility if you don't want to use it. Anywho, so this bottle is supposed to be chemical proof. It's kind of leaking now. I don't know. I'm not sure. But anywho, basically, you spray this thing on, leave it there soaked both sides, and then you start cleaning from the first part. You spray it off, and the glue will melt basically, and it will come off. So it's pretty good, and that's the end product. I use a Scotch-Brite pad for that. So this is how it looks. A Scotch-Brite pad. When I talked about a Scotch-Brite, this is what I use all the time. Sometimes I buy the gray one for light scratches. This is equivalent to 600 grit P600, not K, P600 scratches. So I use this always for rebuilding engines or whatever. This is what I use to clean all the metal parts or whatever. So I did all the cleaning already. The removing the foam could be pretty messy, just so make sure that you know, it's all, you don't make a mess. I mean, the foam goes everywhere, so you're going to end up with tons of foam. This clothing is still full of foam. So now this is all ready to be sprayed. I use Super 77, this glue, 3M. And basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put glue here in the metal surface, and I'm going to put glue in the foam. So the foam I bought, I was explaining in another video the other day, is this. I actually bought a roll. This cost me $50 Canadian, $54 Canadian, taxes included, and is about 0. What is it? I can't remember the inches. 0.128 inches. I think it is. It's basically 3 millimeters. For metric, I'm a metric person, so you guys go and convert. 3 millimeters, which is less than a quarter inch. And it's closed cell foam. This is not the same as the original foam. So if you want to buy this foam, which is the original, you can buy it fabric backed. They sell it. It's fine. I don't like it. It breaks down. It's very, very soft. I like this. This is more firm. This is very similar to the foam that is in the headliner of the NSX in the first generation. I guess NA2 too have the same headliner, I'm guessing. But the vinyl has a foam this thick in the back, which is polyurethane foam. So this is polyurethane too. So we're going to use that foam, and we need to glue it first. So first we need to glue the foam, and then we need to do the leather on top of the foam. So we need to glue that first. So let me get a piece of this thing out. They sell me the whole roll, basically, or almost the whole roll. Now that I notice, there's a piece missing here. Anyway, let's cut a piece out of here. So for this, I'm going to cut a piece. I'm going to cut a piece this big, and then let's just use what is left. I don't need to be too careful about cutting this thing. I am going to use the rest of that foam to when I find the replacement for the vinyl of the headliner, which is coming off. The vinyl gets hot, and over time the foam behind it, which is similar to this foam, breaks down, and then the vinyl sags in the headliner. It bubbles up in this case. In other cars it sags and it looks horrible. I fixed this one a little bit, but it's not quite right. So once I find the vinyl, I'm going to use this as the backing foam. So same idea. So basically you need to cut pieces for this, and then you glue it, and you need to trim it, you know, around the edge, obviously, because in the original foam, basically the foam ends right against the edge, and then the leather rolls over here and then gets glued in the back. So obviously you don't need that much of this material. So you want to just cut the pieces as close as possible, and then you trim them after. So I'm going to cut them a little bit bigger than what I need for each piece. A little bit bigger because this kind of curves up, so I'm going to cut them a little bit bigger. Since they're in the same angle, kind of works out well. And this one is the weird one. Definitely a weird piece, the corner piece. And we want to make sure we go all over. And you see, with one piece, this is, I don't know, I think I cut. This is about 4 feet long, and yeah, so you know there's tons of left for the other side. So let's start with this one, which is the most complicated one. I'm going to just show you one, and then I will do the rest. And basically, you want to. This thing sprays everywhere, so you don't want to have anything else around it. So if you want to glue one piece, and then bring the other one and take this one out from here, because otherwise you are going to overspray glue everywhere. So you want to make sure you have sprayed, and that's it. You just spray liberally in the piece. In the original piece, this wasn't glue all the way. Like, they didn't have glue, or I guess maybe the glue was bad in some areas. But I don't care. I want this to be glued really well. So I'm putting a lot of glue. Maybe I should put a piece of paper here. That's what I'm going to do. Let me fix that right away. Because this is my temporary table, and I'm putting tons of glue in it, so, which is not a good thing. So I can use this paper I have for masking cars and things that I paint all the time. This is a tool to have, by the way, if you want to mask cars. This is awesome. All right. Let's put this here. That's better. Way better. Now let's see how I cut this off first, because we need to glue it back in here. And I think I cut it off this way so I can bend over this side. Right. These are really sticky, so I need to hurry up. That's it. No more. And you need to wait about, I think 20 seconds or so to glue it. Yeah, 30 seconds to, let's see, tack range, one surface, 10 seconds to 15 minutes, two surfaces, 30 seconds to 30 minutes. Allowed a minimum of 30 seconds of drying time. So we need to wait 30 seconds before you put it on. That's what I usually wait, like a minute or so. And then you glue it on. It's pretty, this thing gets, when it's ready to be glued, it gets super sticky. And that's the time that you glue it. So this piece, I could actually work in another piece. I'm going to put this away for now. And I'm going to bring another piece while this is drying, because by the time that I finish gluing that one, then I can glue this one. So let's glue, spread this one, put it aside there. This one, this is pretty simple stuff, not a big deal. And now I think this is sticky, not so sticky. I will do another one. And the other thing is that you don't want to work in a very cold environment. I actually have the heater on because it's -6 Celsius, which is I think 20 Fahrenheit or something like that, or close to that. There's a cold snap going on. You don't want this to be really cold. I actually heat up the can a little bit before that. Okay, that's good atomization. I think that's good. I'm going to put that one away for now. And I think we are ready to do this one. So, just don't screw it up. I usually screw it up. Let's see. Oh, this doesn't have glue. Ouch. Like so. Let me put it right against the corner there. So you want to start from one side first. You see, it's very, very sticky. So since it's curved, you can't glue it that up here, because otherwise you're not going to be able to follow the contour of the piece. You see, that's it. That's what you need. So now it's fully there. Ooh, that's super sticky now. After 30 seconds, and then you bend it and make sure that this is really well bent there. Oh, I screwed it up. You see, I cut this piece too short, I think. Wow. Let me see. There is enough working time that I think I can unglue this. Yeah, this piece is tapered, so I screw it up a little bit here. Let me see. Oop, no, I damaged the piece when I pulled this off. No, I can't use this anymore. That's a mistake, so don't do that. Cut it bigger than I did. I wanted to save material, and now I'm running into problems. Let's put some more paper down and fix this. And if too much time passes between the glue, you can actually put more glue and kind of reactivates it. So I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to glue this one because I know this one is big enough. So that's good. So that's big enough. It's hard to make a mistake with this ones. Now, another reason why you don't want to put, like some people will say, oh, but why you want to put foam back in? This is where your hand sometimes can hit when you grab the handle. Maybe not this piece, but the piece in front. And the other thing is that if you don't put foam, then that's pretty good. If you don't put foam, then the leather will sink in this, and you're going to see these holes through it. Pretty ugly. So don't do that. Don't try to cheap out. This is $50 Canadian, man. So like, you know, that's like $30 US. It's not much money, and you get a roll. So sure, you may not use it, but for craft, for the kids or whatever, this is pretty useful stuff. So I'm going to glue the other one, which is ready too. Before we fix the other piece. I'm just pressing it a little bit. You don't have to press that hard. The glue actually sticks really, really well. So yeah, so you see, super easy to do. Okay, that's done. Let's move on. Let's fix this piece now that I screwed up big time. Well, no, it's not a big deal. I could have cut it bigger the first time, but I didn't. So now I'm going to cut a bigger piece, just to make sure. That piece is definitely enough for this, so I'm going to put some glue on it. Okay, that's enough. We'll put it away a little bit. We'll put some glue back in the piece so that kind of reactivates and fills up whatever gap of area with no glue. There's a piece of the old, there's a piece left here, otherwise that will show up in the surface as a bump. You don't want this there. A little bit got ripped from the other one, so better to clean it up. That's good. That's good. Okay, so that's pretty sticky right there. Let's glue this one now. Put some glue here. And this one. That's smooth. Okay, that's good. We'll put this away while it dries. We will glue the other one. Now I don't know where to put it because I'm using all the space. The story of my life, not enough space in my garage. Alright, let's glue this one now. Now it should be enough material for this. More than enough, obviously. That's better. that's better. All right, problem solved. Very easy to solve. It's not a big deal. If you do it fast enough, you can peel it off, and it's not going to rip much of the material. And yep, so that's pretty well glued. You want to make sure the edges are pretty well glued. I mean, it's not super critical because remember the leather gets roll over and stick here, so it's critical that this surface is really clean for the leather to glue back in. And when I glue leather with port 77, I have done it before, it works. You kind of have to put a lot of more glue. So in that case, I will tape this area a little bit or cover it a little bit with a cardboard or something, and then I will put a lot of glue in the edge, and then a lot of glue in the leather to glue it right here. So this piece is glued now. Now the other one, this one should be ready. Oh well, no, let's put glue on this one now, which is this is the one that goes in the door handle. And I have something not super clean here. Last minute cleanup. Yeah, I have a little bit of leather left here, which is not a big deal because I'm not gluing anything this side. This is plastic, so you can scratch it here. It doesn't matter. I couldn't use obviously paint thinner in this piece because you will melt it, and you don't want to melt this piece. But you can scratch it to clean it. Not much though. All right, let's put some glue in these pieces. Uh-oh. See, you need to be, there's a debris there. Debris. This is just a boogie. I think it's people call it boogie. I don't know. Anyway, a lot of glue. All right. Let's put that one aside there for a minute. Let's bring the other one back in. Now, if you grab it from the back, there's no, well, there's a little bit of glue there, I guess. And we glue this one. Notice that, sorry, maybe you don't see it, but when I do this and I press it down, I do not press where the holes are here. I don't want the foam to go out through here and just make a low spot, so I don't press it down too much, but around it I do. Well, that's about it. You don't have that. That's it. There's no more science. No more science than this. So now that this is done, and now we can glue this one. 30 seconds is sticky enough. Yeah, see, you can tell right away when it's sticky enough to glue it here. So we are going to glue it. Oh no, no! Look at that. That's a mistake. All right, there. Boom. That's it. Yeah, since these pieces are curved, I will stress this again. If you glue it here first and then you go and stretch the foam and pull it up and glue it on top, you're going to leave a gap here because it's going to be flat here, but the piece is curved. You don't want that, because that's going to, you don't want tension on it either. So because otherwise over time with the heat or whatever, the glue this could come unglued, and now you will have a, you know, a ball here. It doesn't look good, like a bubble in there. So that's why you start from here and then you press it down this way so it conforms to the form of the piece. That's all. Okay, so now we're good. We're all glued up. This is the second piece, or whatever this is, the third piece. I'm going to cut this tube. So this is full of glue now. So I don't need this paper here. And this, I screwed up. I should have put paper beforehand. But that's typical me. It's like the after the no plan, I guess. All right, so we have a piece of paper there. Now we want to cut this, so a sharp blade. I think this blade is okay, but I'm going to grab a new one. And pretty handy to have a bunch of them. And obviously for the video they don't want, oh sorry, they thought they were not going to come out. Okay, brand new blade, so that we make sure the cuts. I always use this ones to cut paper or whatever, so I save them, or scrape glass or whatever. And now basically the only thing we have to do is to follow the edge and cut the piece of foam. And that's about it. Simple as that. So I'm going to glue the leather on this piece to show you, so you have an idea. Of how it will look like, kind of like the final product. There it is. Brush. This is not usable. So there's a little bit in the corners, and here's a little bit too long. No, that's good. Well, almost good. So you want to make sure you don't have anything left here. I'm going to go over like this. Yeah, and cut the excess. You don't want any excess in here. All right. Oh. And that's it. Let's cut the other ones really quickly because it takes nothing to do it. Let's cut the other ones. Let me see if that was not a good cut right there. You don't want that to happen. You want a pretty good cut. So I don't know why that happened, but that will be, maybe this thing is already losing sharpness. I don't know. Oh, it is. Wow. So looks like the blade was damaging one side. Interesting. Very simple stuff. Nothing really worse. Even if this is not perfect, doesn't matter. You're bending. The idea is that you don't have tons of excess like here, because otherwise you will roll the leather on top and it's just not going to work. So if you have a little bit of this here, you can pull this off. It's not a big deal. If the corners are sharp and you have a little bit left in the corner, it doesn't matter because the leather will push it in. You can cut it, sure, but it's not a big deal. Like I said, And the other thing you can do is to use pressure like this to cut it, because foam is kind of a bit too soft, and the blade kind of pulls it off. So that's good. Let's cut this one. It's a good cut. This one is going to be interesting. Trash. This one has round corners. You want to cut them. That's it. Nice, huh? So those are all cut off. Let's cut this one, the plastic one. See, it takes very little to do this. It's not a big job or anything. The leather is a little bit more complicated, and that's why I want to show you how that's done. The reason why the leather is complicated, because you need to cut relief cuts in the leather for the corners, so it folds over, otherwise it wrinkles and it looks horrendously ugly, and you do not want that. But it's very simple. Like, if you look at, I will show you what I mean in a second. Once I cut this piece, boom. And is this good? It's kind of round-ish, not fully round, but nice. And the last one. So that, I would say that was a total, if you're ready to do this, no more than 10 minutes to do all the pieces. Well, if you're ready to cut them, obviously. This thing is already broken. I just cannot believe it. Crazy. The tip is broken already. These are very cheap blades, so that's, if you have better blades, well, use those. Sharper blades are better, so that you don't have issues cutting this thing. Like that. Terrible cut. See, that's because the tip was broken. So that was not the best outcome on the cut. That's not a big deal. Like I said before, you can go like this and cut the excess. That is good. All right, let's grab one piece like that and and glue the leather, I'm going to put yet another blade, new blade, because for the leather you want to use definitely a new blade. One day this thing will work every time, but no, because it knows that I'm doing a video, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Come on, don't be an asshole. Oh, the blades are sticking. Oh, that's so annoying. Oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Oh, ha, bad user experience, I guess. That's stupid. Here we are. New blade, safety. All right, so now we need to find the piece of leather that goes there. Pretty much all these pieces of leather are the same size. This one's they're pretty much all the same size, I think. They don't discriminate on material, which is a good thing, except for the triangular one, which is humongous, obviously. But these pieces, I think they are all the same size. I think so. So 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think all these pieces are the same size. All right, good. So we're going to glue this one right here. So perforated later. Oh, it's going to look amazing. So I'm going to glue it right in the middle, and then I can bend these over and then cut the excess. I'm not going to go in the edge or anything, or maybe I will. So I can glue it here. That's not a bad idea. So I don't have to cut it, and then I can just bend it over and do this. We can do that and leave enough edge here to do that. That's not a bad idea. Alright, let's do that. So same deal, but this time is a lot more glue. So I am going to put, I'm going to spray it off camera, so it's I don't know, spray the whole table with it. Alright, let's glue it. I'm going to glue this one. So like I said, I'm going to put a lot of glue here in these areas. So I'm going to go vertical with the spray pattern, basically. So to put a lot more, so I'm going to load it up basically like this. And I get really close. So I put a lot. See that? Hopefully you can see that. And you don't overspray that much in the other sides. It's not a big deal if you do. But like that. There. That's plenty glue. So now we need to wait. And for this you wanna wait a few seconds. So I will do the internet magic for you guys. Time to glue this. I think it's pretty sticky, so same idea. We're going to line this edge up like this here. So what I'm going to try to do, see if this works, is that I'm going to line this here. Oh yeah, that's pretty strong. Okay, so that worked. And now I'm gluing the rest of the leather against it. Ooh, some glue. Some glue should up here. Come on, clean. The good thing is that clean leather, it comes out right away. Okay, so now this is all glued. Pretty good now. So we don't need to hurry up, but we need to do it right. So the corners should not be bent right away. So you glue the sides first. So that side, this is too long, so I'm going to glue this side. And I'm pulling and gluing, okay? I'm not just bending the edge, okay? So that is glued. I think that some glue was not on the dry side. And basically the idea is that you leave the corner. The relief cuts are like this. Let me show you the old piece. So here is here. So here's a good example. The old piece is like that. The corner, basically you cut relief cuts like that, and so you leave this corner, and so when you fold it over, that's how it looks like. You see? And then you can pull this corner in very hard, and then you basically trim these edges to fold it over. Let's use this. So I'm going to cut this way, that way. Yeah, this works. And need to cut it this way. And that way. So I'm going to pull the corner first. That looks good. Oops. And now I can pull this and trim this guy here. Actually, you can do it this way too. I think that's how I did it one time before. Yeah, that works. It's kind of like butt welding. So, come on. See? Done. And see, then the corner here looks round, beautiful. Okay, let's do the same here now. You see, that's why I didn't want to cut this piece and trim it perfectly, so that, you know, I mean, I could have done that, but then, you know, when you glue it, then it could go wrong and whatever. So anyhow, this just excuses. So I need to trim this piece a little bit because it's way too much leather here. So I'm going to cut it there. Way too much leather. This, I think, is useful to do this beforehand and trim it, because this is too much leather to fold over. So it's better to just cut it beforehand. And this one here, not super sticky, so oops. All right, that's it. And let's see. Continue with this corner. So same idea. We leave a piece here like that. And then we cut this piece off. And same here. Like that. So one thing I want to note is that if you do it the way I'm doing it right now, you don't want to cut right against the edge, because if you cut here, then there's not enough material to bend over. So you don't want, you want to leave a little bit so you can you have material to come back. So this is, you see, that's how you do it. Now the corner is all nice and tidy. Then you bend this over like that, and this one over, and then it's all around the center. So I'm going to trim this one now here on top of the leather, because this is too much left. Just like that. And now we bend this over, and we cut the excess here. That's it. Now we bend this and glue. Oh, not so much. We need to do this one now. So we go from here, there. We cut this thing. Obviously I'm making it way bigger, so then I have to trim them after, obviously. So that's fine. It's easier to trim, it's better to leave them long than realizing that you cut too much. So I cut them here in the back. And you can clean the trimming, you can make it better after. I mean, that's what I'm going to do anyways. I'm going to cut more so it doesn't stick out, although that one's pretty good. Now I can bend this over. Oh, that one is almost perfect. This one I need to fix it. Okay. Let's cut this one. Last one. Ouch. And this is already too long, so I'm going to cut it too. The tail is too long. Alright, open this up, pull it, glue, and we trim this basically to make it flat. So I think the only mistake I did is this one, that I pull it off. I don't like how this bent over, so I'm going to put it a little bit harder so that it looks nicer there in the corner. Yeah, that's way better. Yep. So now I need to cut these edges here. This edge here. And actually, you see, this is still kind of workable, so I can make sure this edge is. So this is the other thing, is that if you don't pull this tight here, it kind of sticks out and it looks ugly. So that's why it's better to look this way. And then you can, and now it's all round. There's a little bit of excess there that can be trimmed, but yeah, so that is the end product, and I think it looks amazing, doesn't it? Looks pretty nice. It's all bent. You can still see, you see that it's curved and then kind of flat there, you know. Pretty nice. It's all glued in. I'm just pressing a little bit more. Nice, huh? Way better than this. Let me pick the old one up. Let's compare. Look at this. I mean, for the time, this leather was, you know, when it was new, was really nice. But those wrinkle things, never been my style. So yeah, but at that time, I guess it was okay. It was cool. I'm guessing that all the Ferraris, wherever they have those wrinkles, and they use tan for their cars, and I never liked tan ever. Anywho, look at that. So it's very simple. You just need to be careful, I guess. These corners are key. You will have those cut-offs here. You can follow the same idea. See, they leave enough at the edge. They leave enough at the edge here, so they can bend it over and then fold it over this way, and that's how it is. And the idea is that this doesn't go over like that, because then you have that bump. You want this to fit there, so you know it doesn't protrude much up. It's not a big deal, but still. So I think this one came out pretty good. It's pretty flat. I can still trim a little bit this here. It's not necessary. These corners are completely fine. This one I'm going to trim it a little bit. You see, it's too big. See that? I can trim that corner here, and that's all. But yeah, that's it. So I'm not going to show you the rest, because you know it's the same process. You just go one by one and you do it, and now you have a really nice door panels like that. I will show you a video of the door panel finished with the door panel, the door card, with the door panels installed, finished, so you can see it. But that's it. There's not much to it. I hope you enjoy the video. Click subscribe if you want to. It's free. Yeah, any comments are welcome. I'm not an expert on this, but I have done a few things like that. So if there is an expert there that is watching my videos, which I don't believe so, but if it happens and has any recommendations, I will love to learn more and improve my techniques. So I will really appreciate any comments. Anywho, that's it, guys. I hope this will help you to do your door panels. Take care. Stay safe. Here's the final product. It looks really good, don't you think? See that even if you don't make the corners like very pretty, it will still get hidden by the edge here, and if you fold it enough, then the corners will be pressed against it, and that's it. It's going to work. One thing is that obviously you need to put this small. Obviously I said after I tried the other way around. This one first, then this one, and this one. So you can align them better, otherwise they stack on top of each other. They look horrible. So yeah, it looks really nice. Obviously this is after I cleaned up degreased this panel, that it looked gray, not black. Well, black, but in really bad shape. Anyways, now it's looks like new, and with the new leather it looks so much better. And obviously this is the other piece. It goes there for the handle. This one was a bit tricky. You can see here that I have the corner is a little bit lift up, because this has a felt tape in the back, so I need to put tape here. That felt tape, I'm going to put a black tape I have. It's not felt, but this is fabric tape. So I'm going to put that here in the back, and that's about it. But it's tape, so it's not a big deal.